Hello everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel to share with you my theme park story in a more personal way and a way that saved me typing about 1,000 words on Instagram. And I'm hoping you'll follow me into the 22 theme park season where I'm going to try and brave some more rides. I've been a theme park enthusiast for as long as I can remember. In fact, my first memory is actually a trip to Alton Towers with my grandparents at the age of 3. I wouldn't have gone on many rides, but the one thing I do remember is the Peter Rabbit on Ice show. I can still remember the spider that came down, the giant spider during the show. I remember keeping my grandparents up all that night talking about how good that show was. And I think that was where my love of theme parks came from. Now as a family we didn't do big holidays due to what my dad did for work. But what we did do was theme park trips. We did a lot of them. We did all the major parks in the UK. So we did Towers, we did Drayton Manor back then, that was a big one. Chessington, Legoland, Gulliver's, Blackpool, Fantasy Island. I remember American Adventure and Camelot. So we did a lot of theme parks. And I've got to be honest, back then I was pretty fearless. And there wasn't a ride back then that I would have been scared of. I remember going on everything I was tall enough to do. I had no fear. Where it all changed was the first time I was tall enough to do Nemesis. We did a family trip to Alton Towers and my dad was excited because I'd finally hit that height limit to do all the big rides. I remember getting in the queue and I wasn't fazed really, I was ready for it. But that all changed as soon as the ride host pushed down the restraints. I remember just feeling trapped and I guess probably claustrophobic now I think back to it as what it is. And I did just start to panic. I remember Dad turned to me and told me to calm down, it would be all right, it's just a ride. I don't remember much of the ride though. All I remember is pulling at the station at the end, covered in sick, and my dad telling me I'd passed out. I'm going to be honest, that put me off at theme parks for a very long time. From that moment, what was my happy place became a place full of fear. In my late teens, my early 20s, I spent my time avoiding theme parks. Friends would invite me out to them and I'd just have to find my excuses, partly because I was so scared of them, and then another part of me because I just didn't want to admit to my friends and look like a chicken, especially with potential partners, stuff like that. It was one of those things you as a man, you want to make people think you're big and brave, and I always felt that theme parks were my Achilles heel. It all changed when I met my wife. You see, she loves theme parks. Everything about theme parks. Big rides, flat rides, dark rides, everything. And she didn't want to miss out. So she started taking me to some of the smaller parks like Legoland, where we did quite a lot of the rides. It feels silly now to say, but I was absolutely terrified the first time I got on Dragon. Next was a trip to our local theme park, Alton Towers, in which I only did the couple of attractions in Catania Canyon, Duel, and a couple of bits in Mutiny Bay. It wasn't quite the day out the wife expected, but she did put up with it. And we've been several times since. Now, on the day we got engaged, my wife shared that her dream wedding would be a wedding at Walt Disney World. And that terrified me. Not because I was marrying her, but because of the rides. Weeks and weeks watching YouTube videos in preparation, doing ride research. I ended up with a small list of rides I'd do, rides I may try, and rides I wouldn't go anywhere near. And off we went. And I loved it. The rides were incredible, everything about the parks was brilliant, and I've got to be honest, the wedding day really was the happiest day of my life. And theme parks had started to become my happiest places to be again. I loved it so much, I even let my wife and her family convince me to go on the Tower of Terror. Gotta be honest, never again.
Now that door has opened once again. For you.
Since then, I've conquered quite a few of my previous fears. I'll do suspended roller coasters like Vampire now. Pirate ships were something I was terrified of before. Log flumes. Oh, log flumes are dreaded. And even last year, I managed to do Icon towards the end of the season. I didn't get so lucky this year. We went to Blackpool on opening weekend and I did chicken out of it. But I'm hoping to get back on it later in the year. In fact, we've got quite a lot of plans this year. We're hoping to get back to Alton Towers for opening weekend, and I'm hoping to maybe conquer Ayr. We're going to Efteling, which has been a dream for a long time. Plopsaland. We're going to go back to Florida, as long as COVID doesn't stop us. Where we're going to do Busch Gardens, SeaWorld, Walt Disney World, maybe a couple of the fun spot parks I've got in mind. We've got plans to do Chessington again and get back on Croc Drop, and obviously check out the new Marvel World at Disneyland Paris. I'm hoping to conquer quite a lot this year, and I'm hoping you'll join me in that journey. If you do want to join me, I'm going to do some vlogs in these parks from a self-confessed chicken's point of view. So if you are interested, please like, follow and subscribe, and I'll see you again in the future.